Manchester United are about to make a move that could change their entire season. An official bid is reportedly coming for Lewis Hall. Tchoumeni's future has taken another twist, and Michael Carrick has made a huge decision on Marcus Rashford. This is one United fans won't want to miss. This is Red Break. Let's get into it. So here's why this matters. United have a left-back problem, not a small one. Luke Shaw is the only recognised senior option in that position, and everyone at the club knows that's a risk. One injury and there's nothing behind him. Mazraoui can fill in, he's done it before, but he's not a natural left-back, and both the coaching staff and the fan base know it. This has been the club's quiet worry for over a year now. That's the gap United need to close, and for a while now, one name has kept coming up as the answer: Lewis Hall. But here's the thing. Hall wasn't just a name thrown around by pundits looking for content. He was a player United had actually been watching, quietly, patiently, waiting for the right circumstances to line up. And those circumstances, they just did. Because at Newcastle, everything just changed. Eddie Howe is out. And according to David Ornstein, that departure has done something nobody expected. It's reopened interest in a move that looked stalled just weeks ago. Here's why that detail matters so much. Hall was reportedly against leaving under Howe. He wasn't pushing for an exit. He wanted to fight for his place. But with the manager gone, that resistance may be gone too. And that's when everything changed. Ornstein says he's been told directly from sources at Old Trafford that United will submit an official bid. Not interest, not checks, not monitoring the situation, an official bid. The number? Around £35 million. That's not a bargain fee for a squad player. That's the kind of number United commit when they see someone as a genuine long-term starter. Not a stopgap, not a rotation option. A player they think can hold that left-back spot for years. And the timeline is even more interesting. Sources close to the deal are reportedly hopeful of getting this concluded early next week. That's not speculation talk, that's deal closing talk. Think about how fast that is. In a transfer market where deals can drag for months, we're talking about a situation that could go from bid to conclusion inside a matter of days. That tells you two things. United are serious, and so is the player. But before you get too far ahead of yourselves, let's rewind for a second, because this story has layers, and not everyone is telling it the same way. Ben Jacobs, reporting through TalkSport, confirms United have made checks on Hall as they assess their left-back options. But he's careful about something important. This isn't a brand new target, he says. United have been tracking Hall for some time now. What's new is the urgency. And here's the twist nobody's talking about enough. There's been no club-to-club contact yet. Not officially, not on record. So which is it? A bid landing early next week, or a club still just running background checks? The honest answer is probably both can be true at once. Ornstein's sourcing points to intent and imminent movement from Old Trafford. Jacobs is describing where things stood a little earlier in the process. Transfers evolve fast, and reporters catch different frames of the same fast-moving picture. Newcastle, meanwhile, still want Hall to sign fresh terms. They're not just going to wave him through the door and wish him well. And Hall himself? He's reportedly seeking clarity. Clarity over his role under the new manager, Matthias Gisel. So picture this. A player waiting to see where he stands in a new manager's plans. A club trying to keep hold of an asset they clearly value. And United sitting there, ready to strike the moment the situation shifts even slightly in their favour. That's not a done deal. That's a pressure cooker. And pressure cookers tend to go off fast. Now here's what United fans should be watching for over the next few days. Not another interest confirmed story. Watch for contact between the clubs. That's the actual next domino. Once that happens, this stops being a story about intent and starts being a story about a fee getting agreed. And it's not the only situation heating up at United right now, because while the left-back saga builds, there's another one bubbling in midfield. And this one might be even bigger than Hall. Aurélien Tchouaméni. Real Madrid are reportedly closing in on Rodri. And when a move like that happens at a club like Madrid, it usually means somebody else has to make way. Madrid need a big sale to balance the books, and Tchouaméni's name is now firmly part of that conversation. Here's where it gets interesting for United fans specifically. Sources indicate United are comfortable with his wages. That detail alone tells you this isn't just idle transfer chatter. Wages are usually where big moves die. If United have already cleared that hurdle in their own planning, that's not nothing. But before anyone starts celebrating, listen to how carefully Ben Jacobs worded this one, because the language here matters more than usual. He says, in theory, if the door opened even a tiny bit and the price was right, United would move. In theory, Tchouaméni is the leading target. But in practice, we can't say United are actively working on it. Why? Because there's verbal terms in place on a new contract at Madrid. And at any moment, Real Madrid could choose to shut that door completely just by announcing that new deal. So this is a live situation. Not confirmed, not dead either. Just waiting on Madrid's next move. And that's frustrating because it means United's midfield plans right now are sitting on a decision being made in a boardroom in Spain, not in Manchester. Think about what that means practically. United can't force this. They can't out-negotiate a verbal agreement that already exists between a player and his current club. All they can do is stay ready, stay in position, and wait for Madrid to make the first move. That's two major situations developing behind the scenes, both hinging on decisions outside United's control. But there's a third story tonight, and this one isn't about a transfer target chasing a new club at all. It's about someone coming back. David Ornstein reports that Michael Carrick's plan for Marcus Rashford is full reintegration into the first-team squad for the new season. Rashford is set to return to team training for pre-season, possibly as early as Monday. Now, we already know Rashford's return has been building for a while, and plenty of you watching have followed every step of that story. So let's focus on what's actually new here, because this update carries real weight. Carrick reportedly wants to work with him directly, not tolerate him, not manage him as a problem to solve, want to work with him. An exit only remains possible now for a genuine European top club offer. No Turkey move is on the table. That door, which had been floated for weeks, appears to be closing. And Carrick is said to be placing real value on team bonding this pre-season, with incoming additions expected to strengthen the defensive midfield position specifically. Rashford himself addressed the moment directly. He called Manchester United his home, saying he'll help the club in any way he can to win trophies again, and that even while he was away on loan, his heart never left Old Trafford. Strong words, the kind fans have been waiting a long time to hear from him directly, rather than through a source or a statement drafted by someone else. And in a small but symbolic move, Matheus Cunha is reportedly switching to the number 11 shirt out of respect for Rashford's return, according to Sky Sports. Small detail, but details like that tend to say a lot about where a club's head is at heading into a new season. Squad numbers aren't just admin, they're statements. Then there's this. Ben Jacobs, through TalkSport, delivered one more line tonight that United fans need to hear before we wrap this up. Don't worry, United fans, it's still going to be a busy end to the window. So let's step back for a second and look at the full picture. A left-back target with an official bid reportedly landing within days. A World Cup winning midfielder who's technically available in theory, sitting behind a contract situation United can't control. And a homegrown forward walking back through the training ground doors with the manager's full backing. This is what a real transfer window actually looks like. Not one clean headline you can wrap up in a single sentence. Multiple stories, all moving at once, all depending on decisions being made in rooms nobody outside the club can actually see. United know exactly what they need. A reliable left-back, midfield depth if the right domino falls, and stability up front with Rashford back in the fold. The question now isn't whether United want these things, it's whether they can close these situations before the market shifts under them completely. So here's what I want to know from you. Out of everything in this video, which story actually excites you the most? The Hall bid closing in days? The Tchouaméni theory that could flip overnight? Or Rashford walking back into that training ground with Carrick fully behind him? Let me know below. Stay red.